A heart-healthy diet isn't just about what you should not eat. There's also lots of great things you can eat, like fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein. Our guest chef today to show us some heart-healthy recipes is Terry Arthur of the Spring Valley YMCA. Terry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
When we talk about heart-healthy, we often think low-fat, low cholesterol, but there's healthy fats too, those omega-3s. And
correct.
Some of the foods that contain those are?
Well, some of the foods would be walnuts, avocados, salmon.
And we want to be sure that we incorporate those into our diet.
Absolutely.
And our recipe today that's going to do that for us is salmon with whole wheat pasta.
Correct.
So take us through that. How do we make it?
Okay, well, we're going to start with a saucepan here. We're going to add a little bit of oil. Olive oil is a great oil. It's a heart-healthy oil.
Terrific.
We're going to start with a little bit.
And we're going to use about 2 tablespoons.
Correct.
Okay.
And here in front, we already have some roasted peppers. You could roast those easily in your oven. Just a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of seasonings on those.
And we have yellow and green peppers that we're using.
Correct.
And again, they're already roasted up for us just to save us the time for this, for television.
Exactly. So we're going to add those in.
Great. They always smell so good when they're cooking.
And we're going to stir those around a little bit.
And then we're going to add 8 ounces of cherry tomatoes that are cut in half.
Correct. You can go ahead and add those.
Okay. And already we have a dish that's colorful and delicious. Great. We're going to add a tablespoon of snipped fresh rosemary.
Correct. This is a great herb. It's going to add some flavor to the vegetables themselves, but not overpower.
Great. And we also have salt and pepper.
Tiny bit, just a little bit of each, a pinch. Sea salt's great to use in cooking.
Okay.
It's a great alternative.
All right. And then, of course, we want to be cooking the pasta, which we did already.
Absolutely.
Whole grain pasta.
Correct.
And we have some whole grain pasta already cooked up. And once we have this cooked, you want to cook that for about 10 minutes. Once we have that cooked, we're going to stir in the wine and the balsamic vinegar. And we're going to use white wine. And you want to remove the pan from the heat when you do that.
Correct.
And we're just using a little bit of white wine. And then the balsamic vinegar. And that's, I guess, going to add a depth and a richness of flavor.
Exactly. It's a little bit milder than a regular red wine vinegar, but it adds some good flavor.
All right. And then once we have that going, we want to put it back on the heat, and we want to add the salmon. And salmon's a fish that cooks pretty quickly.
Actually, it does cook very quickly. You want to make sure that when you cook it, it easily flakes. That's how it'll tell you that it's done.
Okay, so we want to be cooking this up and just sort of stirring this around, and it'll just take a few minutes to cook.
Exactly,
and
blend
then
flavors.
Once we have it finished, we're going to just put this on top of our pasta. So this sort of forms a sauce. We want to get some of the sauce on there, some of the peppers and tomatoes. Probably want to put those on first and then pour some of the pan juices on. Really smells very good.
The rosemary makes a lot of flavor
out. You can smell
out.
the rosemary, absolutely. And you want to include sprinkle this then with a little bit of fresh basil at the end. I'm going to just sprinkle some in before we even put the salmon on. This is a meal that looks fancy. And it's hard to get out of the pan. He doesn't want to come.
Correct, but that's because he's well done. He's flaking apart.
There we go. That looks delicious. And again, it looks like something you would find in a restaurant. And really, it only
very
takes
healthful.
a few minutes. Very healthful. Excellent. Okay. Now, our next recipe, we even have a dessert recipe.
Absolutely.
It's a rustic apple-cranberry tart. So walk us through this. What do we want to do for this?
Okay, we have some cranberries here that are soaking in some water and some apple juice, actually. Gives a little bit more flavor. So they've been soaking so they can get soft. We have some cut up apples here.
And we have some tart apples, like a
Granny Smith would be great to use.
Am I dumping this on top?
You are going to dump those in.
Okay. So we'll add those in.
You're going to add your cornstarch here.
What does the cornstarch do?
Cornstarch is going to kind of bind the fruit together, so it's going to hold a little bit once it goes into your tart pastry.
And then it looks like cinnamon.
Yes, we have a little bit of cinnamon. And we have a little bit of brown, actually it's Demira sugar, which is raw sugar, very good.
All right.
And we have a little bit of vanilla, and we're going to use about a teaspoon.
Dump a little bit in. I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball it. We'll put a little bit in. We're going to stir that all around.
Correct.
Okay.
Stir that up.
This smells delicious as well.
That smells very good.
It really does. Now, you don't want to cook the apples ahead of time?
No, they're going to actually bake in. They're going to be a little bit soft, but still have a little bit of texture to them, so they're going to have a little bit of something to bite into.
Okay, all right. And how we took the skins off these? Is that what you should do?
Correct. You're going to skin them. You're going to pare them up, and then you're going to use them sliced apples. So you're just going to slice them.
Okay. Can you use any kind of apple for this?
I think you could use any kind. The tart apples are going to give you more of a reminder of an apple pie.
Okay.
So generally we use a tartar apple like a Granny Smith, but I believe that you could probably use galas or just a harder textured apple.
And you don't need a ton of sugar in this?
Not at all. Not at all. It's going to bring a lot of its own flavor out.
The natural fruit has, or the natural sugars in the fruit comes
Absolutely.
out. Okay. All right. So we stir this up, and then for the crust.
Yes. We have, over here we've mixed a cup and a quarter of whole wheat flour and a little bit of sugar, a little bit of trans fat-free margarine, and we use some water. It's a basic pie crust mixture.
Okay.
We've just flattened it out onto a
dump
pan.
this in the middle.
Yep.
All right. Little bit messy
Juicy.
with the juices, a little bit juicy. You just want to be careful when you do this. We have this on a little tray, and then we're going to fold up the edges.
We're going to fold the edges up.
And you want to leave it open in the center?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm not doing a very good job of this, but in the end,
we're going to we would slide it onto a piece of foil, cover it with a piece of foil, and then we're going to bake it in the oven.
And we have one already made. Somebody did a little more dexterously than I did, and it looks great. And again, heart healthy.
Absolutely. Cranberries are very good for the heart, good cleansing agent. Apple's always good for the heart.
Super. Terry, thanks so much. We want to tell people to visit our website for the recipes. It's missiongoodnutrition.org. Today we made some delicious heart-healthy recipes. We made salmon over whole wheat pasta. Salmon is rich in the all-important omega-3 fatty acids, good for your heart. It's filled with delicious peppers and tomatoes. It looks like a restaurant meal, but it'll only take you a few minutes to cook. And we made a dessert. We made a rustic apple-cranberry tart. It smells so good, and it looks good enough to even feed to guests. For more information and the recipes, be sure to visit our website, missiongoodnutrition.org.